Safe person strategies. People make mistakes which can lead to accidents. Others may have a total disregard for safety procedures. Some people, such as young persons, have a greater potential for accidents as a result of their immaturity and lack of knowledge and experience of workplace hazards. Safe person strategies are directed at increasing people's perception of risk and to ensuring safe behavior at work. The provision and use of personal protective equipment. There is a duty on employers, in certain cases, to provide various forms of personal protective equipment, PPE. Under the Personal Protective Equipment at Work regulations, employees are required to use and wear PPE in defined work situations. PPE must be carefully selected and appropriate to the risks it is designed to provide protection against. Care of the vulnerable. Certain groups of employees, such as young persons, older workers, pregnant workers, disabled workers, those exposed to specific hazards, such as radiation workers and those involved with lead processes, are more vulnerable to accidents and occupational ill health. In certain cases, there may be a need for medical or health surveillance of these groups. A much greater level of supervision is required for people coming within the vulnerable classification. Personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is very much a matter of individual training and upbringing. However, certain processes and operations may expose workers to health risks, such as those resulting in occupational dermatitis or metal poisoning through contamination of the hands and other parts of the body, hand-to-mouth contamination arising from consumption of food contaminated by dirty hands, or the use of contaminated drinking vessels, is a serious risk in some workplaces. There may be a need, therefore, to ban all forms of eating and drinking in workplaces, restricting food and drink consumption to a canteen or dining area. Good standards of personal hygiene should be promoted through induction and refresher training, the use of safety propaganda, such as safety posters, and high levels of supervision where hazardous substances are used. This should be supported by the provision and maintenance of adequate welfare facilities, namely washing and showering facilities, separate clothing storage for work clothing and personal clothing not worn at work, and frequent replacement of contaminated overalls and other forms of work clothing. Caution towards danger. Some people are more careful than others. However, there is a need to promote a general caution towards danger and the use of safe systems of work. Careful conduct, horseplay, and unsafe behavior is a contributory factor in many accidents. This may include the removal of machinery guards, failure to use PPE, use of lift trucks by unauthorized persons, such as the employees of contractors, smoking in no-smoking areas, and abuse of equipment, compressed gases, and flammable substances. Employees should be regularly reminded of their duties under the HSWA with respect to safe working, and this should be supported by disciplinary action wherever unsafe conduct is identified.